What if I told you that the same white powder you use to clean your sink or freshen your fridge could actually help restore blood flow to your private areas? I'm serious. Because thousands of men over 60, including many of my own patients, something as simply as baking soda has made a dramatic difference in their circulation, their intimate responses, and even their confidence in the bedroom. My name is Laura. I've spent over 30 years treating older men for issues that must start too embarrassed to talk about. Limited blood flow, weak intimate responses, low energy, and emotional fatigue. I'm a professor of urology and a specialist in men's health. And I believe the best solutions don't always come in a bottle. Sometimes they're already sitting in your kitchen. Now, here's the part that most men never hear. Baking soda isn't just for cleaning or heartburn. Used correctly, it can support nitric oxide, improve blood oxygen, balance your body's pH, and even help your vital hormones work better. All of which are essential for strong, lasting, intimate responses after 60. So, in this video, I'll walk you through 10 amazing science-backed ways baking soda can help older men regain their vitality and perform with strength and confidence. And a little later, I'll reveal a special morning combination one of my patients used with incredible results. Before we dive in, if you're a man over 60 who cares about natural ways to stay strong, energetic, and confident, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. You won't want to miss more science-backed ups designed just for you. And if this topic speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. I always want to improve and bring you content that truly helps. All right, let's begin with the first surprising way baking soda can support stronger intimate responses in men over 60. And it has everything to do with your blood's pH. Most men don't realize this, but when your body becomes too acidic with age, it quietly constricts your blood vessels and limits the smooth flow needed for a firm, intimate response. Here's where baking soda comes in. 1. Balances your blood pH to improve circulation. When I first met Harold, he was 69, recently retired, and visibly frustrated, not just with his energy levels, but with something he didn't want to say out loud. First, Doc, he finally confessed after a pause. I just don't feel like almond anymore. His blood work was relatively normal. His heart was functioning fine. But when I looked a little deeper, I noticed something's able. His internal pH was too acidic. Now, most men have never been told this, but as we age, our body's pH can shift toward the acidic side. And that shift, even if mild, can have powerful effects. It creates a low-level environment of tension inside your blood vessels. They become narrower, more rigid, and less able to deliver the kind of rapid, expansive blood flow needed for a healthy, spontaneous, intimate response. Think of it like trying to water your garden through a pinched hose. That's where baking soda quietly shines. As a natural alkalizer, it helps your body gently rebalance its internal pH. When taken in the right way, usually mixed with water on an empty stomach, it can support better blood fluidity, help your arteries relax, and create a vascular environment where oxygen and nutrients can move freely again. What happened to Harold? I introduced a gentle morning routine with a small amount of baking soda and lemon water. 3 weeks later, he walked into my office with a smile and a lightness in his step. Something's changed, he said. It's subtle, but I feel like my body's awake. Again, and my wife noticed, too. This first shift, rebalancing your pH may seem simple, but it creates the foundation for everything else. Blood that flows more freely delivers more oxygen, more nutrients, and more vitality to the areas that matter most. And when that balance is restored, the effects can ripple outward in ways that reach far beyond the bedroom. One of the most misunderstood enemies of a man's performance after 60 isn't low vital hormones. It's inflammation. Slow, silent, and constant. I call it thyroid inhibitor. It doesn't scream. It doesn't make a scene. But over time, it impacts your blood vessels, your energy, your sensation, and your intimate responses. I remember working with Samuel, 71, strong voice, proud demeanor, but his eyes told a different story. Doctor, he said, it's like my body eyes always working against me. Even when I went to feel close to my wife, I just didn't feel capable anymore. When we ran his labs, he wasn't diabetic. His cholesterol was managed, but his inflammatory markers like CRP were elevated. That was our clue. Here's what most men don't realize. Chronic low-grade inflammation hardens the veiling of your blood vessels. The endothelium. This is where nitric oxide is supposed to be produced. The signal that tells your private tissue to relax and fill with blood. But when inflammation takes over, that system gets disrupted. Blood flow is restricted. Sensation drops, and your body simply can't respond the way I choose to. That's why baking soda can be a powerful ally. In multiplicity, sodium bicarbonate has been shown to stimulate anti-inflammatory pathways, specifically within the spleen and kidneys. It helps calm down the immune system's overactive response, especially the one that targets your vascular system. And when inflammation lowers, blood vessels open, nitric oxide flows. Intimate responses become noticeable again, not forced, but natural. Samuel started a simple protocol. Half a teaspoon of baking soda in water every morning, followed by a 15-minute walk. Within a month, he reported not only more frequent morning vigor, but also more energy and clarity during the day. It feels like something inside mine clogged, he said. And that's exactly what reducing inflammation can feel like. Less pressure, more ease. But there's the fascinating part. If you've ever wondered why things just don't kick in the way they used to, the answer may come down to a molecule your body once made easily, but now struggles to produce. Nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is spark that starts it all. It tells your blood vessels to open. It signals smooth muscles to relax, and most importantly, it directs blood to rush into your private area when the moment is right. Without it, desire may be there mentally, but physically nothing happens. I remember a man named Thomas. He was 66, relatively healthy, still active. He wasn't sad, and his hormones were in decent shape. But during our conversation, he said something that stuck with me. Doc, I want to bantamate. I still have desire, but I feel like there's no signal from my body anymore. Like the switch just isn't flipping. That's exactly what a nitric oxide deficit feels like. Your brain says yes, your heart says yes, but your blood vessels say nothing. Here's the good news. Baking soda doesn't contain nitric oxide, but it helps create the right internal environment for your body to make more of it naturally. When your body becomes too acidic, nitric oxide breaks down faster, but baking soda helps make your blood more basic, protects the vessel lining, and reduces cellular stress, all of which preserve and enhance nitric oxide function. In Noni's study, athletes who supplemented with sodium bicarbonate saw improved vascular performance and stamina, partly because their bodies could better utilize oxygen and generate nitric oxide under stress. And what works for endurance also works for intermittent responses. Both require fast, expansive blood flow and vessel responsiveness. Thomas gave it a shot. We started small, adding baking soda with lemon water each morning and pairing it with breath. Worked to boost nitric oxide release. A few weeks later, he told me I'm waking up with something I haven't seen in years. And more importantly, he felt that his body was finally responding naturally. But nitric oxide is just one part of the story. Once blood reaches the right places, it still needs to deliver oxygen to your tissues quickly and efficiently. If that delivery system is sluggish, your performance will be too. Luckily, baking soda can help here as well. One of the most overlooked aspects of strong intimate responses is something we rarely talk about after 60 oxygen. Not just general oxygen in your body, but the precise targeted oxygen delivered directly to the blood vessels and tissues inside your private area. Without enough oxygen, even if blood reaches the area, your tissue can't fully expand or respond. The result: weak, short-lived, or completely absent intimate responses. I remember sitting with Richard, 72, a retired fire chief who always prided himself on being strong, reliable, and in control. But no, his words carried weight. "Doc, it just feels like I'm running out of fuel down there. Everything's slower, heavier, duller." His lab results showed good cardiovascular markers. But one number stood out. His oxygen saturation was on the low end. And this was uncommon. As we age, and especially if acidity or inflammation is present, our blood cells simply don't carry oxygen as efficiently as they used to. This is where baking soda plays a subtle but crucial role. It doesn't just reduce the acidity, it actually helps optimize how your hemoglobin releases oxygen to your tissues. When your blood is more basic, hemoglobin can carry and offload oxygen more effectively. And that means more oxygen reaching the private tissue when excitement begins, supporting firmer, more sustained, intimate responses. Richard began a morning ritual. A small glass of water with half a teaspoon of baking soda taken slowly before breakfast. Within a few weeks, he wasn't just noticing better energy overall. Hess specifically mentioned improved sensation during intimacy. It felt warmer, he said, like things were flowing again, like they were supposed. 2. That warmth, he described, that's real oxygenation at work. When oxygen finally reaches its target, your body feels alive again, alert, responsive, and capable. But oxygen isn't just for arousal. It's also fuel for the tiny muscles inside your private area that wrap and hold blood during an intimate response. And if those muscles are tired or sluggish, performance suffers even with good blood flow. That brings us to the next benefit, one that speaks directly to your body's hidden energy system and how baking soda can recharge it. Naturally, most men I work with have never heard of smooth muscle cells inside their private area, but these and sung heroes are absolutely vital for strong, lasting, intimate responses. They don't just help blood enter the private area, they help trap it, hold it, and sustain intimate response long enough for full intimacy. And at the center of their power is one thing, energy. I remember my patient Gerald. He was 68, a retired mechanic, and sharp as ever. But during our first appointment, he looked down and quietly said, "It's not just that I can't get firm like before. It's like the whole system shuts off halfway through. I feel like I just run out of fuel." That image stuck with me. And when he explained how the energy producing engines inside his smooth muscle cells, the mitochondria, were likely slowing down, it all started to make sense to him. You see, mitochondria are the power plants of your cells. They take in fuel and produce usable energy. But as we age, especially under conditions of chronic acidity or cellular stress, those mitochondria don't work as efficiently. And when they struggle, so do your intimate responses. The private area simply can't hold the blood because a smooth muscle can't generate the strength. This is where baking soda offers a subtle but powerful boost by reducing lactic acid buildup and supporting a more basic internal environment in the body. Baking soda helps mitochondria perform better. It creates the internal balance needed for these tiny energy factories to run more efficiently, especially in the smooth muscle tissue of the private area. Gerald began taking baking soda 3 times per week, paired with light morning stretches and deep breathing. Within a month, he said something I'll never forget. "It feels like the engine's turning over again. Not perfect, beautiful. That's what mitochondrial renewal feels like. Quiet, steady, deeply energizing." And here's the fascinating part. Your mitochondria aren't the only part of your system affected by acidity. Your hormones, especially vital hormones, are also influenced by your internal environment. So, next, let's explore how baking soda doesn't just boost energy, but actually helps your body respond to vital hormones more effectively. It's a frustrating thing to hear from men all the time. "Doc, my vital hormone numbers look fine, but I still feel tired, unmotivated, and nothing's happening in the bedroom." And they are not wrong. Their levels are often within range. But what I explain next usually surprises them. Vital hormones are only part of the story. The other part, the often ignored part, is whether your body can actually use the vital hormones you have. That comes down to something called receptor sensitivity. In other words, how well your cells hear the hormonal signal and respond. I'll never forget Martin, age 64, a retired police officer. Strong frame, clear mind, but defeated eyes. They told me I had good vital hormones, doc. So, why do I still feel flat? Wearing more tests. And sure enough, his levels were decent. But I had a hunch. Years of inflammation and internal acidity can dull your hormone receptors, making them sluggish, even resistant. It's like yelling through a wall. The message is there, but it doesn't get through. That's where baking soda can help, in a way most men never expect, by gently reducing acidity and lowering inflammation. It improves the internal environment your hormones operate in. It doesn't raise vital hormones directly, but it clears the static. It helps your receptors work more efficiently, allowing the vital hormones you already have to connect, activate, and do its job. Martin started a routine small amounts of baking soda and water a few mornings each week plus some. Light resistance training, and about 6 weeks later, he walked in smiling. My drive is coming back, he said. Not just in the bedroom, everywhere. It's like something switched back on. That switch wasn't from more vital hormones. It was from his body finally responding to it. Soys. Baking soda supports intimate responses, not just by helping blood flow, but by optimizing the hormonal pathways that fuel desire, motivation, and strength. And yet, even with balanced hormones, your body's performance depends on more than just vital hormones. Your vital organs, especially your liver and kidneys, play a powerful role in cleansing, hormone conversion, and blood flow. What baking soda does for them might surprise you. Let's take a look. One of the most overlooked reasons men begin to lose their edge physically, intimately, and emotionally after 60 is something we rarely connect to performance toxic load. Over time, your body absorbs a buildup of chemicals, waste byproducts, and even old hormones that no longer serve you. And the key organs are responsible for cleaning house your liver and kidneys. When these organs are overworked or sluggish, everything slows down. Blood becomes heavier. Hormones become imbalanced. Circulation weakens. Even your mood and mental clarity begin to fade. I've seen this time and again in men who appear healthy on the outside, but feel completely stuck on the inside. There's an patient I often think about. Carlos, 70, a retired accountant, clean diet, never smoked. Yet, he told me he felt unwell inside, like something was off deep within. His blood pressure had crept up. His desire had dropped. His energy was flat. We looked at his labs. Slightly elevated uric acid, mild kidney strain, and signs of a sluggish liver. Nothing alarming, but just enough to explain the way he felt. That's where baking soda quietly steps in. It helps reduce the acid burden on your kidneys and supports a healthier pH in your urine, making filtration easier for the liver. It promotes better bile flow and cleansing support by reducing inflammation and easing the burden off metabolic waste. It's gentle, not aggressive. Perfect for older men who need a little extra support without overloading the system. Carlos began using a small dose of baking soda every other morning, paired with hydration and a warm lemon water routine. 3 weeks later, he reported something simple but profound. My body feels lighter. Hesed, like I'm not carrying as much. And his intimacy, it started returningly but noticeably. When the organs that process your hormones and blood are working better, everything else begins to respond. And now, let's take this one step further. You've heard me talk about performance and flow. But what if I told you baking soda could actually help reduce the cravings and stubborn belly fat that silently impact vital hormones and make intimate responses harder to achieve? What comes next might surprise you even more. If you're a man over 60, you've probably noticed this. The weight around your belly seems to hang on tighter than it used to, even if you're eating better than ever. And those serenum cravings for sweets or carbohydrates, they can sneak in at night after dinner or right before bed. And honestly, they feel harder to resist than they did when you were younger. You remember Jack, a 66-year-old former high school football coach. He walked into Mavis, patted his stomach, and said, "This thing right here, it's limiting my life. I can't get rid of it, and I'm convinced it's affecting my drive." Jack had already tried reducing calories, eating more greens, even walking every day. But the cravings, the low energy, and the drop in bedroom performance were still there. What many men don't know is that abdominal fat isn't just a storage issue. It's hormonal. That stubborn belly fat produces aromatase, an enzyme that converts vital hormones into estrogen. So the more belly fat you carry, the more vital hormones you lose. And when your hormones are off, everything from desire to circulation to performance starts to fade. This is where baking soda plays a more surprising role. By helping balance your body's pH, it may support more stable blood sugar levels throughout the day. That in turn can reduce those intense sugar cravings that hinder your progress. And when you're not experiencing blood sugar fluctuations, your body can start to shift back into fat burning mode, especially around the midsection. Jack added a simple habit: baking soda and lemon water first thing in the morning, followed by protein and light movement. Within 4 weeks, the cravings were down. His belly started getting smaller, and perhaps most importantly, his confidence began to return. "I don't feel out of control anymore," he said. "And when I look in the mirror, I don't see a man giving up. Less sugar, less fat, better hormones, and a better chance at the life you deserve." But there's still one piece of the puzzle we haven't talked about. And it's the one most men completely overlook. What if the reason you're struggling in the bedroom isn't just physical, but neurological? What if your nervous system is sending the wrong signals at the wrong time? And baking soda can help reset it. Let's go deeper. After everything we've covered: blood flow, oxygen, nitric oxide, energy, hormone sensitivity, even calming the nervous system, there's one final piece I want to share with you. It's a small natural combination I've seen make a surprising impact in men over 60. And it's something you probably already have in your kitchen: lemon juice or apple cider vinegar. Now, on their own, Bothelman and apple cider vinegar are incredible. They're rich in antioxidants, support digestion, and help regulate blood sugar. But when combined with baking soda, something unique happens. They create a natural reaction that gently fizzes in the body, stimulating internal cleansing, lowering systemic acidity, and supporting both liver function and vascular health. More importantly, they help baking soda work even better, helping it reach the right tissues without overwhelming the body. I'll never forget Barry, 74, a widower for 5 years. He was beginning to explore intimacy again, but said he felt stuck. We had talked through the usual things: exercise, diet, circulation, but something was still missing. So I suggested he start his mornings with a simple ritual: 1 glass of warm water, a squeeze of lemon, and a 4 teaspoons of baking soda, slowly sipped on an empty stomach. About a month later, he came in beaming. "I didn't expect much," he said, "but I wake up feeling more alive. My gut's lighter, my mind's clearer, and I'm responding gigging." If you know what I mean, that combination, baking soda with lemon or apple cider vinegar, doesn't force anything. It supports the whole system: your gut, your blood vessels, your nerves, your hormones. It helps bring the body back into balance so it can function the way it was designed to. And that's the point. Real lasting change doesn't come from one pill or a numerical solution. It comes from restoring balance, from giving your body the tools it needs to heal and respond naturally. Baking soda, especially when paired with the right ingredients, isn't of those tools. Now that you've seen all 10 benefits, you might be wondering, How do you actually use baking soda safely, consistently, and in a way that fits your daily routine? That's exactly what I'll walk you through in the final part of this video. Let's wrap it all up and I'll show you exactly how to get started. If you found value in this, I encourage you to talk to your doctor, try it gently, and see how your body responds. And as always, I'll be right here with you, bringing you more real, honest advice to help you live stronger, longer, and better. If this video gave a new insight, a little bit of hope, or even just made you feel seen, then invite you to do something simple but powerful. Give it a like, not just form, but so more men out there, men just like you, can find this information. The more engagement this video receives, the more it gets pushed to those who might be quietly struggling right now, searching for answers, but too afraid to ask. Leave a comment below, even if it's just to say 1 if this resonated or 0 if you didn't. Connect with it. I read every comment. This isn't just about sharing knowledge. It's about creating a space where men over 60 can be honest, supported, and empowered to take their health seriously. If you know someone, a brother, a friend, a neighbor who might benefit from this, please share it with them. You might be there as in they finally take that first step. And if you believe in this kind of content, natural, science-based, and made specifically for older men, consider supporting the channel. Whether it's through a small donation, joining as a channel member, or just spreading the word, every bit helps. US keep this message alive and growing. You matter, your health matters. And I'm honored to be a voice in your journey. Thank you for watching. Stay strong, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.